Good evening. It's Facebook Love number 100. That's a thing. I thought about what it felt like the first day that I did this. And I looked back at just the very beginning to sort of see what my expression was like and the color of the light, etc. It's very dark right now. It's about to rain again. And I think that I was experiencing quite a bit of upset and trauma those first several days that we went home to stay home for the pandemic. I'd been speaking with friends in Europe and was thinking about what we were in for. And we were in for way more than any of us thought. The news regarding COVID-19 is disheartening. So I picked a couple things that are particularly philosophical from a writer who gives me comfort and helps me think straight. One of them is just kind of about the why and the what of being alive. And the other is about dying, because one of the things that bothers me the most about this time is that I don't think we're paying attention as a nation to the number of people that are being lost. Not just to the coronavirus, though that number is somewhere around 127 or 128,000 Americans. Think of the number of families and all their friends that is affecting. But lots of people are neglecting their health, avoiding seeing doctors, avoiding getting their medications. They've lost their jobs and they can't afford things. So there's a lot of, I don't want to use the word collateral, but sort of damage alongside this. So I'm thinking about all that. I'm thinking about the sense of loss. And I'm thinking about the friendships, how challenged we are to maintain the closeness that we have with our circle, each of us with our overlapping circle. So that's what I have. These are both from Mary Oliver. Any of you could have guessed that I would choose her today. I think I started with her. This one is an older piece, probably from the 80s or 70s, called Some Questions You Might Ask. Is the soul solid like iron? Or is it tender and breakable, like the wings of a moth in the beak of the owl? Who has it, and who doesn't? I keep looking around me. The face of the moose is as sad as the face of Jesus. The swan opens her white wings slowly. In the fall, the black bear carries leaves into the darkness. One question leads to another. Does it have a shape like an iceberg? Like the eye of a hummingbird? Does it have one lung like the snake and the scallop? Why should I have it and not the anteater who loves her children? Why should I have it and not the camel? Come to think of it, what about the maple trees? What about the blue iris? What about all the little stones sitting alone in the moonlight? What about roses and lemons and their shining leaves? What about the grass? Some Questions You Might Ask by Mary Oliver. I think about that. I think I read that poem early on in my 100 readings, but it's worth hearing twice. The thing I think about the most is the idea that whatever soul is, whatever life means, our sacred writings tell us that there's more connection and union because of movement and breath, that's what life is. The idea of a creator breathing life into a moving, animate thing But then you think about animation, there's a question. Is lava alive? It moves. Is water alive? It moves. Rocks move very slowly, they're alive. Trees, we know, speak to each other. We've learned that there's more space between each cell inside of a mammal, a fish, a stone, some wood, than there is matter. What is a soul? So I think about that. This one's a little longer, also by Mary Oliver. And this one is because I'm thinking about all the people that we're losing that aren't receiving the recognition that they ought to in our collective culture, and I want them to. When death comes, like the hungry bear in autumn, when death comes and takes all the bright coins from his purse to buy me and snaps the purse shut, when death comes like the measles pox, when death comes like an iceberg between the shoulder blades, I want to step through the door full of curiosity, wondering, what is it going to be like, that cottage of darkness? And therefore I look upon everything as a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and I look upon time as no more than an idea, and I consider eternity as another possibility. And I think of each life as a flower, as common as a field daisy, and as singular, and each name a comfortable music in the mouth, tending, as all music does, toward silence. And each body a lion of courage, and something precious to the earth. When it's over, I want to say, all my life, I was a bride married to amazement. I was the bridegroom, taking the world into my arms. When it's over, I don't want to wonder if I have made of my life something particular and real. I don't want to find myself sighing and frightened or full of argument. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world. When Death Comes, by Mary Oliver. It's sort of weird to get to this 100 readings milestone. It's more days than that. I've taken about 4 days off, so really today would be 105. But the fact is, it's a lot of days to have all gone home to take shelter. My friends in Europe are commencing a much more normal life, normal compared to what it was. Still being careful, wearing masks and things, but getting back to living. And we, I think, weren't wise, a lot of us Americans as a culture. We are so anxious and disbelieving of things that make us uncomfortable. So I'm not gloomy. I'm hopeful that we will continue to learn. But it is quite a thing to be at home for week 16. This is Facebook Love number 100, and I'll see you again.